Hi, and welcome to this special bonus feature. I did not turn off the recording after Sharon Kriz's official interview. And if you're interested in hearing what we had to say after she was finished with that, then stick around. There's also tons of pictures if you watch the video. You should totally listen to the episode. Episode 4 comes out today. I think you will enjoy it. It does touch on a couple of the things we talked about as well. Like you mentioned about Stephanie and the age thing and the life perspective. But yeah, interesting dude. I think you'd like that one.
Cool. I will listen to it.
But thank you so much for joining me. I am going to put some pictures, and I have triathlon pictures. I totally forgot about those.
Oh, you do? Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I was
see
looking.
what I can pick up. I also want to start doing like a picture of your boat club, so people, or like we talked about sweep rowing and sculling, like get some visuals because that is completely lost on a lot of people. So
Right. Well, I sent you got the pictures I sent you, right? I mean, there was a few pictures there. I just found this picture. I think this is you in 2-seat. Where's my camera? Is that you in 2-seat?
Yes. Yeah.
Actually, this one's even better.
Oh yeah, look at that. Oh my God. It's all neck right there.
Throwing everything into it.
You mentioned Crash Bees. I have my picture from Crash Bee. I'm going to send it to you when we get off. But I was in first place because I went lightweight.
Lightweight,
and I was in first place. So the reporters were right on me. And then I ended up getting fourth, which sucks. But it was the only time I went to Crash Bees. The picture in the paper looks like a horror movie. I'm like, and,
oh no, really good faces. This one has a good face.
Name, the lightweight coach.
You did some lightweight rowing though too. I remember you telling a story about stepping on the scale to weigh in, and you were a little bit over, and someone picked up your hair, and you wait.
Yeah. No, that's with this dude's wife. What was his name? Who was Rob's coach?
Brady?
Yes, Brady. Brady, because Max wasn't at Crash Bees, but Brady was there because I think Rob won that year. So Brady was there and Brady was coaching me. And again, like I was in first place the whole time. But Brady's face is like, and then I think it's like, it says Rutgers behind, but it looks like it's like the words are dripping. Like it's all legit, but it looks, I'm going to send it to you.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I have a whole, this bin of stuff that my mom dropped off is all like the newspaper articles. I mean, stuff that you just don't do anymore because there's no newspapers, but
yeah, exactly.
Newspaper articles. There was that poster. I think I said there's a picture of that poster. My mom still has that poster in our hallway.
My mom's never framed anything ever. Like no photos I've ever but she framed that poster.
That poster is like, you open the front door, is right there.
That is, so it's not even a good poster.
I know. It's kind of blurry.
Were you with me? So you said like reading the journals reminds you of stuff. There is, and you don't realize what you've forgotten, but I have the banner I stole from the inaugural NCAA championships. Like it was hanging somewhere. So I have this huge, like I could put it on my wall, but it's like bigger than my wall. It just says, it's just a white banner and it says NCAA in blue. Were you with me when I took that?
I found that you remember they gave us that like golf towel.
Yeah,
I had that was in the stuff that my mom sent me. I
have that in my bin of like mementos. I actually have all 3 swimsuits, which is so weird that I swam in high school.
Oh wow!
So yeah, weird, but I have those.
I have my Rutgers uni still. It's in the bottom. My Rutgers uni, our race uni.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I definitely have
that. Mm-hmm. You know what my mom just recently got rid of? So remember we went to Atlanta Olympics and volunteered, and you remember that outfit that they had us that we wear?
Had that?
My mom still had it on the box. She literally sold it to somebody last year for like $50.
I was gonna
on like
say, I hope she
Facebook.
didn't just throw it out because somebody on eBay would want that thing.
No, she found, I think, I wanna say it was some teacher that was teaching, and because it was Olympic year last year, she was doing stuff with the Olympics and
Oh.
bought it. But I mean, there was the hat, the sneakers, those awful
Yeah,
shorts, and that
it's like a
shirt that
bandana or something.
yep. There was a watch.
I I feel like I may have pictures of us from that as well.
I was looking, I couldn't I know I've seen it recently. Do you remember? So, oh my, I mean, gosh, like the memories. Like we we were gonna camp. That didn't work out. And then we shoot, what was his name? What was your he wasn't your
James.
James. He ran into this couple that had the house, so they had the basement that they let us stay in, and
No, I remember they sold it like, "We have a like, a dungeon you can stay
yeah.
in," or something. They made it out to be so
But they
bad.
were
It was
they
like
were right on the
living on that
lake, and
luxury.
they had a pontoon boat, and they took us out in the pontoon.
Yeah,
I have a picture of you and I on that pontoon boat. I know I've
I
seen it recently.
no, so the picture of us on the pontoon boat is freakishly similar to a picture of us after our first triathlon.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yes,
that's
I think,
funny.
like, our heads are the same.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm gonna find 'em both. I'm gonna
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
your episode is gonna come out next week. I also you are the first person, and this is so weird, but you're the first person I've had on the podcast or even planned an interview with who does not have a doctorate or is in the process of getting a doctorate.
Ooh.
I know, like, but it's I don't know, I guess that's just my circle of people
Mhm.
now.
I do like to think that the years I spent on the national team are that's my advanced degree.
I'll give you that. Maybe Rutgers can give you an honorary degree.
Yeah.
I'll get right on that. Yeah, or maybe that's like a whole new area of research. Should like Olympic athletes get college credit for their
That hey,
experience?
that's you know what I mean. That's one of the things. I mean, I've had lots of conversations with Dan. You talk about like you give up such a chunk of your life where you're not working these entry level jobs. You are not getting these degrees, and then it's like you're done. You're like, all right, what now? Like I'm 30
But you're
years
also
old, and
learning a shit ton, so it wouldn't be like it would be just handing it out for nothing. Like,
yeah,
dude, there's a lot of learning and growing and all of that. Wait, one more thing. At you were not at the 50th anniversary, were you?
I wasn't. You know what? I wanted to, and I had just taken the job down here, and we were on our own head race, and it was that weekend, and I
Oh,
was like, oh, I'm like,
that's sad.
I can't like not be here. So yeah, no, Justin, the coach, I've met him. I've met him. Where did I meet him? I met him at a regatta. I think we were at a regatta at Mercer Lake. I met him. He was there as recruiting, so I chatted with him a little bit. But yeah, he reached out and asked if I was going to be there. He's putting a panel together. And I mean, I would have loved to, but I couldn't swing it. I tried.
Yeah, it stings. I was like the Max whisperer at the event, and like I went over, I made sure he got a picture. Um yeah, like I was like the go-to for Max. And
Mhm.
I was sitting next to or near Colleen, and Colleen's like, I don't understand. Like, so you're like he talks to you, you're okay. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, well, the incident. And I'm like, "The incident?" I wrote him like a six-page handwritten letter about how his coaching was, like, not up to par. You don't remember that?
I don't. When we were in school?
Yes, while we were in school. That is why he took my ass out of the varsity boat junior year.
Oh my
It was
gosh, I didn't know
it was
that.
it was all because it was when his office was at the rack, and I went, I was with Tom
Huh.
Scott doing my lifting. I brought the letter up, gave it to him, walked back downstairs, however much longer later, like 30 minutes went by or whatever it was. He came downstairs and you could like see the smoke coming. I mean, the man, rightfully so. I'm not saying
Rightfully
anything.
so.
He like grabbed me out of the weight room and like I like levitated. Like my feet were not on the floor. Like he grabbed my ass out of there, and I cannot even remember what he said to me. Um, but he wanted to kick me off the team, and he said, like, he couldn't, or I think he consulted with the like, he yeah. So, but he did take me out of the varsity, but that's why I mean, it sucks the timing because that's when we went to the NCAAs, and I was not in the varsity boat, I was in
Yeah.
the JV. Um, but that is why, and I, like I remember it that part of it that I just described to you, but I did not remember that I made Colleen read the letter before I gave it to him. And not only like, I had no recollection. She's like, "Yeah, I read the whole letter. I told you not to do it." And I didn't listen, which is not shocking at all.
Mhm.
But she wrote about it in her journal. She kept a journal that she has all the workouts, like you were saying, like, I don't
Mhm.
maybe Max told her or maybe Pops did, like, she would keep every workout, but she also wrote in depth because she was, like, she was, like, traumatized by the whole experience, and she was like but I was like, "Colleen," but we got over that the next year, like, I was back in the varsity boat, and that's when Rob had graduated, so he's not working as a coach, so I'm hanging out with Max
Mhm.
outside of practice, like, Max and I were fine after
Yeah.
that, but she doesn't remember that, she just still remembers the trauma, so it was really funny.
I feel like that's one of those things where, I mean, I tell people all the time, like, I remember, like, we'd go to breakfast and everyone would hash out practice and, you know, coach did this or he said this or this didn't make sense or he should have done this. Like, we thought we were such experts and we thought we knew everything was happening. And now, like, as a coach, and I look back, I was like, oh my God, we were so naive. Like, we had
He
no
was also
clue.
a new coach back then.
Hmm?
He was also a new
He
coach back
was. You know what? That's funny. Like, I don't think it dawned on me at the time how young he was.
Yeah,
Like, I think back now and think like shoot, like this was. I mean, I think he had been an assistant coach up at Dartmouth.
for, like,
Uh,
1 year, I think.
yeah, but I mean, he was a pretty young
Yeah.
new coach, and probably we were probably his first taste of coaching women too.
Oh, absolutely.
I remember. Do you remember? You were in the boat. Do you remember our sophomore year where Patty caught like two major crabs at Eastern Sprints in the heat, and we still made the petite final, but I
Okay.
remember we all came up and we were freaking. You probably weren't. You have a heart of stone, but we were crying. And I remember Max. He does this like back and forth, and he's like, go talk to your parents and come back later.
I
I
know.
remember so I cried to my parents. It's like he had no clue what to say to us.
That's funny. I do remember on the winter training trip, Jess got a UTI, and he had to deal with that,
You
and
had
I
to take her to
can't
the
remember if
hospital.
I I got dragged to the hospital. Max had to drive, and Max drove Jess, and I came, and like, I don't know, like, I was his unofficial little assistant, but I remember that the nurse or doctor came in, like, "Any chance you might be pregnant?" And Max was like, "Liz, this is when you're gonna handle it." And he walks I was a year younger than Jess, but he walked out of the room and he's like, "This is all you."
I wonder
Yeah,
what
so
same
I
sport would have to say about that
totally
these
there
days.
are things you have to deal with to coach women
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure. I'm sure he learned all about, like, how to deal with periods and cycles and all of that, but luckily I never remember us having to have that conversation with him, but
No.
that is a thing for I know, like, male cycling coaches
Mhm.
do get all involved with that.
Yeah. I mean, through all my I never had a coach get involved in any of that. I mean, it was just wasn't I don't know. It's funny. I mean, I'm sure I know there's studies of female performance around your cycle and different things. I don't know. It was never even something I took into consideration. It was just like got to do what you got to do, and that's it. Every
Yeah,
day, just be the best.
I think, like, coaches who sell Training Peaks plans or deal with that, I think that is one of the areas that they take into consideration,
I
but
can see that, but what happens? Like, I can't. And this is what I try. I mean, in general, when I'm teaching my kids how to prepare to race, and like it's always a big thing. Like, oh, I didn't do that well on my erg piece. Can I do it again? I'm like, well, you can't. You don't have control of what time or when your actual race is. And you can't say, "Oh, sorry, ref, I didn't have a good day today. Can I redo it tomorrow?" Um, certainly you can't say, "Hey, I'm on my period. Can we
Yeah,
reschedule this race?"
yeah.
Oh, I tell her, I mean, again, not every day has to be your best day, but it's got to be your best effort. And if you're not feeling great, I mean, hey, that's life. You're not feeling great. Do the best you can do.
Well, thank you so much for this extended time you spent with me. We should not let, like, I don't know, a decade or so go by again before we talk.
I was so excited to like, yeah, get your initial text. I'm like, you're like, this is, I mean, of course I have your number. I'm pretty sure I had your number in
I
my
did not
phone.
have your number. I had to get it from Riggs.
Well, it's funny. I haven't talked to Riggs, but when I keep going back to this box I got from my mom. There was pictures from Riggs and I mean, I lived with Riggs and Meg Guck, so all this stuff. And I found a picture of the three of us and I sent it to her. Just like, I'm like, hey, like going through stuff. And I think she was in France with her wife and was like, you gotta, we've got to talk sometime when you're back over here. And we just haven't. But yeah, I know. And then God, speaking of people, I was the club now, William and Mary is the university, the College of William and Mary is here. And a few weeks ago, it was their homecoming weekend. So we had our regular practice. I come in and there's a few people standing on the dock. And I said, "Oh, hi, how are you? Can I help you?" And they're like, "Oh no, we're alumni homecoming weekend. I mean, we're just visiting." And I was like, "Okay." And it turned out they were having an alumni row. And I didn't even know how the conversation came about, but we talked about how I'd rowed at Rutgers, and they were like, "Oh, there was a coach here from Rutgers, like Scott Belford or yes," and they're like, "That's it." And then they remembered, and I guess Melanie must have been down at the time. I think that's back when they were still dating because they were there. Oh, and his girlfriend, she was from Rutgers. I'm like, Melanie Borger, and I joke you not, Liz, like. 3 days later, I get a text from Melanie. She's out in Oklahoma, and I haven't talked to Melanie in a while as well. It was Heather Charles weekend. That's what it was because she's somewhere out in Oklahoma. I don't know if she's with the university or Oklahoma City. But
No,
whatever she's with,
she's in a
they had a
community
trailer.
program. She does a community program too.
Yeah, I'm not. I know she's in Oklahoma. I'm not exactly sure what she does. But wherever they are, their trailer had broken down in Connecticut, and she was just reached out to me if they were trying to rent a truck, and I was like, I'm not in Connecticut anymore. But funny, I hear from you. Your name literally came up on the dock like 3 days ago. It's just such a small world.
Yeah.
But yes, we should all. I don't know. We're all turning 50 next year, so I think you're a year younger than everybody,
Remember,
right?
y'all are 1 year older than
Yes, I was
me.
gonna say. Yep,
But
yep.
I will be happy to celebrate. Well, and Riggs is even younger than I am.
I was gonna say Riggs. Well, Riggs was you were at least the same year. Riggs is a year.
Yeah,
Riggs
yeah,
and Colleen were a year younger.
yes, yeah.
But
Yeah, no, we should get together and do something.
it's unbelievable that. Well, if you have a daughter now who's married, it's
I know,
unbelievable
it's
that.
crazy. It's crazy.
It just
Yeah,
it's,
she leaves tomorrow. Cambridge is super weird, even though she finished her degree in like May, June. Their graduation is now. Her
interesting.
graduation is Friday, and I won't be there, but my dad will be there.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's just she's got to fly back. But they're using that as their honeymoon, and they're doing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they're gonna travel around while they're in Europe. Yeah.
That's awesome. I
Yeah,
remember
you know
going
what?
to
I'm
your
gonna
baby
start a
shower.
group text with you, me, Riggs, and Colleen.
Okay.
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 Cool. Well, have a great rest of your day,
You
and I will let you
too.
know when this episode airs.
Oh, this is awesome. Thank you so much. This has been so much fun, Liz.
Thank you.
All right. Talk soon.
Okay, bye.